Doc here from North America. Had a little technical problem this morning, but we've got it back up and running. We're happy. What do we got going on here? Let's check the chat line. Let's see if Janos is in town. Let's see right there. And it's trying to load. Oh, what is it? It's asking that question again. There we are. Let's see. There we go. And let's get up onto the chat line. There it is, right there. And it's starting to spill out. As you can see on the J4X, you see the dollar index, just moving down slow and steadily. I saw a little weakness in the cable this morning, but nothing major. Dollar index itself seems to be pressing down in the right direction. Why won't it load? Oh, it's loading now. Okay. And you can see over here on the dollar index out of the Chicago Mercantile. Let's see. Let's find it right. Where's it at? Right. We'll find it in a second. There we go. Right there. You can see it was trying to lift on Friday. We can remove that now. It's been in that. It went into a buy, I guess, 4 days ago for 1 day, and then went right back into the sell again. And then we saw it flirting on Friday with the buy, but by the end of the day, obviously it changed directions and nothing really came out of it at that point. That's what it really came down to, is that the dollar itself is still, I want to call it more like sloppy weak. I think that's the best way to describe it. Hey, Metho! Hey, Robin! Yeah, a little technical difficulty there. But we got it going. My screen share was having a problem. So, and I saw the thing that came in. Excellent. Wilhelm, cool. What else do I got to say about something here? I guess that's about it. I was expecting to see Janos up on the chat this morning. Maybe he'll reappear. And he was talking about something yesterday. Him and I were talking about Oh, yeah, Janos and I were talking last night. First we were texting, then it turned into a phone call. So that went on for a few hours. That was entertaining in its own right. And I said, well, let's discuss this. I think it was algorithms and something or another. And I said, we'll bring it up tomorrow morning. We'll go through it. We'll tear it apart, take a look at it, see what we can figure out, But anyway, you can see there the dollar is doing its best to slowly leak its way down into, back to the norm. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a 92 or $94 in the DXY. And you can see right there on J4X, it's trading at 101.72. It's still way, way, way too strong. Way, way, way too strong. So I guess if the Ukraine invasion is resolved, for the better, then we'll probably see a much weaker dollar again. They're probably keeping the dollar firm just because of the invasion more than anything else. What else can we say about these indices that represent the currency itself? As you can see right there, that's what's going on. Let's take a look at the weekly too. Now, my chat line is staying, but something else is cooking. What is that? Okay, there we go. Now we're live there. Now I can see it. Okay, good. Let me check my sound too. I imagine my sound is all right. Yeah, there we go. Yep, I can hear the sound too, and there's not much of a lag. I like that. Now let's take a look at you can see on Chicago Quant, you can see we've been in that weekly sell since, where's that mouse at? Right here. You see that right there. It's been in a sell. But what we're seeing now is we're seeing, over on J4X, we'll put the weekly in and see what that looks like. But I'm sure it's going to look identical in weakness like that. There we are. Yeah, see that right there? Same type of weakness, same type of problem. Try to figure out what else is brewing here. I guess that's about it. You can see how it slides in and out, but overall, it has been pressuring itself down. All right, let's do this. Let's go over to the pairs trade since there's no questions, and we'll slide into that now. And there's the wrong spot right there. There's the euro. And the euro is still holding up very firm, third day in a buy. But I saw, let's put it up over here. I did see the cable working down. So that'll be the next one we'll take a look at, and that'll be kind of interesting. But you can see here all that strength in the weekly, just like we have over here. Oop, I hear Robin coming in. Hey, Robin, what's cooking?
Aren't you playing today?
Yeah, I'm talking now. I can hear me. Just just a refresh. Don't do anything but do like a refresh.
All right.
I saw you on there.
Yeah, I know. I was able to put. Something's happening now.
Okay.
Okay, it's working.
Cool, and cool.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Where was I at? Oh, yes. So the euro, you can see the strength in the weekly just like we have it over here on Chicago Quant. The same action there. And then, the daily, obviously, playing the same game. If nothing else, it's just, moving slower. And you can see it's got 3 greens in a row here. And we've got, now you see here, that's Thursday, and then here's Friday. So there's Thursday. I'm sorry, that's Friday. That's today right there. So we have 2 days of the green line through the dash line. Showing that upwardly bias, curve, turn, however you want to describe it, but that's what it's doing. All right, and then let's take a look at cable now. Cable, like I said, I saw weakness this morning at one point, and that was like a couple hours ago. And you can see there's the daily on the cable, and it's not, it's not having any issues whatsoever. It's still flying high. Now over here on Chicago Quant, you can see it is flirting at the moment, just flirting with the daily sell right there, just in that little spot there, and you got a little red dot. And so this will change. We always say, this has about a 68 to 70% correlation to our math, which is really high compared to, say, a MACD or moving average or parabolic. They're way behind. They're a lagging indicator to our math all the time. And then when you put this combination of 2 different stochastics battling against each other and the Hinky-Ashkis, it really gives it almost like a 68, almost a 70% correlation. And it's a lag. It's slower. That's all. It's just a slower product. It's a couple hours behind our math, which is not bad when you're looking at a daily and a weekly. That's it's definitely insightful. Let's put it that way. It's better than, if you can't have docs work, you might as well have the Dukascopy work, because it surely is better than just looking at naked MACD or parabolic or RSI or a lot of these types of indicators. All right. So from there, we drift ourselves over to the Swiss. Let's see what the Swiss is up to this morning. Speaking of which, I saw Polina. What a nice picture. Polina is in Switzerland, and she looked very comfortable. Maybe she's at Davos. Maybe that's what's going on. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Let's put it up. And here is the Swiss franc. Right there. And right there it is. And you can see Swiss franc, just a little bounce too, just like cable. Interesting. Matter of fact, I want to take a look at I think the euro is higher from the day before. Yeah, it is, but it's off its highs. You can see that right there. It's off. Let's widen that for you. It's off its highs. You can see that, but it's still higher than Friday's close. So that's we are seeing some strength in the euro, and we're seeing some weakness in the Swiss and the cable. See right there. See, we are below. There's the cable, as we were showing you. You know, it was higher, and now it's flirting with the daily sell. And now let's take a look at the Swiss. Right there. You know, it's matter of fact, it's just a teeny weeny little up, trying to get into the buy. It was gave us a volatility signal on Friday. You can see we are still It's the manifold, the time manifold here, what we refer to these two mirror image lines. It's standard deviations of our mathematics in a mirror image. So it generates what do you call this? I call it a nonlinear time manifold. That's what I call it because it's a standard deviation, so it shifts the time frame. Now, let's do something we rarely get a chance to do unless someone asks for it. Let's slide in the Bollinger Band up top, and you'll see how behind Bollinger's work is to our mathematics. And that's always fun to do. That's what I've always done dukascopy for. I've always hoped that we would have, and let's see. We'll make this really thickish too, so you can see it to understand it more. Style, weight. There's the weight. So there's the weight. See that, nice and thick. And then we'll put, instead of red. Oh no, we'll keep the red in there. We'll just make it thicker. And so it just shows you the action, how our manifold works. You can see here, the Bollinger Band is rising, and all of a sudden you see our time manifold just break down, right? You see it's breaking down as this thing is still rising. Now, you see here, the Bollinger is being challenged on the bottom side, which is nice. And you can see our work went into the sell right here. So if you're looking at this, without Doc's work, you're looking at this and thinking, things going to keep on drifting up. And you can see this hump starts to take off here. But, usually there's a middle line too. I'm not sure why we're not seeing that middle line. Let's see if you find that. Indicator. Add. There's usually a middle. I bet the middle line is gray. That's what it is. Close. Let's do this. I bet it's gray. So let's do this. We go to Bollinger. Look at the style. There it is. The middle line. Yeah, it's gray. So instead, let's make it white, like that. There we go. So you see there, it breaks down right here. You can see it goes underneath it, it goes above it. In our case here, we're in a buy, and we're going up, and then we break down here. I think that's the sell right there. So it goes back one dot, like so. And you can see this, and you're starting to think, okay, now it's going to probably do this again, do this type of bounce. And you see our work just rolls over major leg, big time. And then you can see right here, finally, it busts through the Bollinger Band and heads south. And what's that? 4 days later compared to our math. And that's what's so fascinating. Now you can see here the Bollinger Band becomes tight. It's becoming tighter and tighter and tighter. And you can see here we've been, it's like a scissors here. It topped out right there in the sense of it getting tight. And you can see it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And we're getting down to a very extreme tightness now. And when we get to extreme tightness, as Robin will say sometimes, watch out. Something big is going to shift in direction. It could be hard down more, or it could be hard up, something like that. So, and I think we'll leave that up there. I think that's a good example of the Bollinger Band. And let's see, what else can we say about all this? And you can see, here's the zero line. Let's move that zero line down. It's kind of drifted up from the shifts there. There it is. And you can see there's a zero right there. And you can see we've been underneath it since this topping out up in here. Our math picked that up very comfortably. Matter of fact, we were in a weekly before it busted through the Bollinger Bands, where it's trading underneath the bands at this point. Whereas our work, we're already in the sell on both the daily and the weekly. So you can see how our work is ahead of the Bollinger Bands even. It's ahead of all. I've not found any work that is ahead of us. Believe me. If I found a tool out there that was ahead of our curve, I would be like, believe me, I'd be right there. I'd be using it. I would be using it. As we take a sip of tea, because my objective first is to make money. That's the prime objective. Make money, not trade. Make money. We want to make money. I don't care if I make 10 trades or 1 trade. As long as we make money, that's all I want. Money, money, money. Make money. Money. All right. Let's see. Where else are we? So from there, we go over to yen. Let's see what the yen's doing. Because, again, let me just widen this out again. You can see the Swiss is moving up a little bit. Obviously, it's fighting the euro like everything else is, and the dollar is losing, of course. And the thing is that so is the Swiss. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be gaining against the dollar. And so we see the cable losing against the dollar. We see the Swiss losing against the dollar, and then we see the euro beating the dollar. So it's like, why aren't they marching in the same direction as the euro? And that's the reason why a lot of us traders back in the 70s and the 80s, we were hungry. We were starved for that. We wanted, how do we describe it? We wanted, we wanted to see a competing currency that would take some of the pressure off of us. And, we get these platitudes of, oh boy, they're going to create a petro currency. It's like, okay. And then what is it going to be? It's like, is it going to be like, you got to remember, when they do a currency, allegedly a currency backed by gold or crude, the question is, how much? What is the conversion factor? Because, see, unless it's convertible, it doesn't mean a word. It's just junk. It's a what do they call it? It's like a what do they call those things where you go to sleep when you're a child? Something rhyme, fantasy rhyme, some type of rhyme. And end result is it's joke. It's junk. In other words, China's been telling us for 10 years now they're going to create a gold oil yuan. It's like, well, go do it. Stop telling us you're going to do it. Do it. Get it done. But the thing is, they can't figure out how to. See, they can't figure out how to deliver gold or oil. That's the problem. Is they don't have the gold or oil to deliver, and they know that if they created a yuan, a Chinese yuan that's convertible to gold or oil, then they would lose credibility very quick, because when people go to exercise it and they can't get it, then people would be like, well, why are we trading this thing? Oh, it's because it's backed. Yeah, but backed by how much? And converted by how much? Oh, well, that's the detail we have to work out. It's like, guess what? You got to create that. You got to work that detail out now for anybody to care. That's why the yuan only trades about 2 to 3% a day in the world. That's all it trades. No one cares about it. It's a piece of you can trade the dollar. It's cheaper to trade the dollar than it is trade the yuan, in the sense of it's convertible. And so it's fixed. The yuan is fixed to the dollar. The Chinese yuan is fixed to the dollar. So it's not even worth paying attention to. Now, this morning I had my what is it? What do they call them? When you're a political something, you advocate ideas in politics and you get paid for it. And people get angry about what they are. I forget the name of it. But anyway, my consultant up in Trenton for New Jersey sent me an article about there's talk of a Brazilian real and an Argentine whatever. Is it a lira or Argentine peso or whatever? I don't know, because I thought Argentina is basically using a American dollars for a currency, and you can't even get a quote in the Brazilian real. So all we can do is get a quote of the ETF. And I do see that Google shows us that the Brazilian real is like 19 to the dollar. Or 0.19, I'm sorry, 0.19. And they also showed at the same time the yuan is the 0.15. So, I mean, it's, 15 cents or 19 cents. It's nothing. It's irrelevant. And so the only thing I can say about Brazil in a positive way is that Brazil actually produces as much soybeans as the United States. So that's a pretty good income thing. And so I could see them basing a currency off of commodities. You think they're going to make their currency convertible to the Brazil, to soybeans? I doubt it. That would mean they'd have to actually deliver something. It would have to be exercisable. It means they would lose control of that asset. Same as China would lose control of. Can you imagine if China was delivering oil or gold, or oil and gold? People would be exercising it every day. It'd be a disaster for China. And it's same thing here, with Argentina and Brazil. It would be a disaster for them, because then they'd have to actually pretend. No, they couldn't pretend anymore. That they have a currency. They'd have to actually act like a currency. And next thing you know, it'd be like it would look like Zimbabwe and Robert Mugabe. That's what it would look like. It would look like a disaster. They'd have $1 million currencies. You'd probably get like $1 million coin or something like that, to buy something. That's what I've heard. I think Zimbabwe got to a point now where they have $1 billion coin. $1 billion coin. Can you imagine that? I think they call it the dollar too. The $1 billion, the Zimbabwe dollar. It's like it takes 1 billion of them to buy like a loaf of bread. It's like the Wehrmacht of Germany back in the 30s. All right, so there's the yen. You can see the yen is doing the same thing as the Swiss and the British pound. They're all losing against the dollar, which is a little confusing sometimes, especially when the euro is gaining against it. And that's a yay for us. We like that. We like the idea that the Swiss, not the Swiss. I'm sorry. The what do you call it? The euro is gaining against the dollar. So it actually shows that there is a real competitive currency against the dollar. I mean, no doubt that British pounds and so forth are, and Swiss and yen. But I mean, it's nice to see it actually do it. It's convertible. Okay, so from there, we slide over to the exciting one, and that is the euro. Look at that. There's the euro, right? I'm sorry, the euro Turkish lira. And you can see today, right here, you can see it. It's pressing right there. You see the high. And you see at the same time, the daily is trying to drift a little bit. Went into the buy on Friday. Let's put that buy signal in there. There it is. So on Friday, we also had, if you notice, we ended up having a volatility day too there. Look at that. The currency had a swing from the high was 2046 to a low of 1975. Talk about action, ACTION. Yeah, some type of problem kicked out, and the next thing you know is, the Turkish lira, had illiquid problems again. It's much smoother than the dollar Turkish lira, but it's still a problem. To have to see that, and I guess today is probably all-time highs. The high today is the all-time high, something like that. I think 21 is the all-time high. And so today's high is 2059. So let me just take a look at you know what we can do? We can run it on J4X and see what J4X shows on what the all-time high is in Turkish lira. no, that's the yen. Let's find Turkish lira again. Dollar Turkish lira. Right there it is, right there. And if we put a weekly up there, let's see if we put a weekly up there. It'll give us a good idea what the all-time high is. I know it's a little underneath 21, I thought, but we'll see here in a second. It'll be live on your screen as it loads in. There it is, right there. So there's the all-time high. Let's look at that closely and see what that is. And the all-time high is 20.6917. And today's high is 59. So we are just on the edge of the all-time high, which obviously is not a good thing, of course. You know, it's a bad thing. You know, I mean, that hurts the indigenous people of Turkey. You know, it hurts Turkey. You know, their currency is gone from 1 to almost 21. And just alone, it was a 5% move on Friday alone. Just a 5% move, swinging wild like mad. I mean, we don't see 5% moves day to day, you know, in a lot of products, but we do once in a while in the Turkish lira. Turkish lira is just rocking and a rolling. All right, so now from there we drift over to right there. There's the CAD, and you can see the CAD, you know, showing some weakness in against it. You know, let's see how many. Let me rephrase that. It's showing strength against the dollar the last couple of days. You can see this was lower than the day before on a close, and then there is Friday. Lower again with a lower high, and today another low and a lower closing number at the moment from yesterday, you know, Friday. And you can see we are right from here. You can see some action. You can see we are in a weekly sell now, going on a 4th week. And obviously then what we do is we go over and we take a look at the energy sector. So we drift over to, I guess we could do it this way. We'll put the Canadian in on the screen. So there's the Canadian trading at 133.59 at 60. Okay, nice and tight. And then you go over here, and we can see on the oil contract, it's probably going up in value because it's it's gaining against. Let's see, where's it at? That's not it. So it should be, oil should be higher today than yesterday. And here's the March contract. And it is. You can see that there. We got a green line. You see it lifting up on the algorithm itself. You can see the weekly is in a buy for a couple of weeks now, going on a 3rd week. So you're seeing that strength going with the oil. The oil is gaining in value. So the front month March contract is trading at 82.44. And let's just for interest's sake, let's just see what the differential is in the back month, which is May. May is 82.86. So it's 42 cents higher in the back month. So they're not letting it go any. Interesting. Now I'm going to take a sip of my tea, and then from there what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the South African Rand with the gold contract. All right. So let's put up the South African Rand. Well, we're going to put gold up. And here's gold on the screen. Let's see, right there. Where's gold again? Let's go back to it. There's gold. Right there. There's gold. You see it's just up a little bit. It's trading at 1928. Yesterday's settlement was 1928.7. And today it's trading at 1928.1. So it's off about not even $1. Just like, 60 cents. You can see here we've been in a daily buy for, what was that, 4, so 6 days now, is that right? 2, 5, 7 days. This is the 7th day in a buy. You can see our weekly signal right here. You can see it's been in a weekly buy for months now, since obviously the end of October. And from the 1650 area. And now we see it trading and threatening the 1950 area, which is a $300 move. from 1650 to 1950, and you're looking at basically that's a pretty good move. You're talking about 15%. That's a 15%. Is that a 15% move? $300 on 1,000 would be a 30% move, and then actually it's a little bit higher than that. It's like a 21% move in the oil the energy market. In the metals market there. Now let's take a look at the South African rand right here, right there. And you can see this has got that problem going on with the political thing, right? In other words, look at it. It did close lower on Friday. Okay, you see that. But now it's trading higher on Monday, which it's not supposed to be doing, and threatening the weekly buy as we speak. You can see that right there. And it's not supposed to be doing that when you have a currency, a currency not following the trend to the metals complex. And ever since the politics erupted down there, we have not been able to get it cleaned up. I mean, they just cannot figure what to do with the $500,000 in cash that was sitting in his office. And so, we've got this problem there, and it's really messing with our currency, which was really nice for the last couple of years. We could compare the gold to the South African rand. It was like clockwork. If the currency went down, gold went up in value. If the currency went up against the dollar and was losing against the dollar, then gold would drop. Now it's just sloppy. And you can see that, this doesn't belong here anymore. You see this distance right here. Let's see if we can make it like literally, louder even. How do we make it louder? How do we do that? I guess we go like this. Can we do that? Will that do it? Yeah, like that. And can we do the weight? Maybe we can do the weight, make it even clearer on the weight of it. There we go. Like that. Let's make it even thicker. Like that. There we are. You can see the weight of it. Ever since this occurred, right here on the 1700, and you look at, rand to 18, it should be probably like, trading at, instead of 17, it should probably, or 18 now, it should probably be trading at like 15 and a half or something like that. And, this politics has it all tangled up. They just cannot seem to unwind the politics. And we're just stuck with it now. And all those currency, all this money sitting in this sofa, no less. That's the most ridiculous thing. It sounds like a joke, It's like Doc's making a joke that they found $520,000 in his sofa. It was physically underneath the cushion. So, and he's just saying, I'm not resigning. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything. Isn't that great? Wouldn't it be nice if someone handed you $500,000 and you didn't have to pay it back and you just didn't really care? You didn't have to pay taxes or nothing. That's really the reality of it all. And it sounds like a joke. That's what the problem is, that it sounds like a joke. It's like, oh, you're making a joke out of it. It's not real. It's like, guess what? It's real. That's why the currency is acting the way it does. All right. From there, we slide over to the Mexican peso right there. And it, had that wild little bounce there for a couple days. And now it's just breaking down again. You can see that there. And we're going back into the sell, too, at the same time. So what we'll do is we'll take this one. We'll just move it over. And there is the buy signal. And went into the buy there. And let's grab that sell. And today it is flirting with the daily sell right there. And we're in that weekly sell for a fourth week now. And it's going to be a lot of interesting things occurring over the next 6 months or 5 months, something like that. So, Janos, you around? Can you hear me? Wakey, wakey. Oh, Janos, wakey, wakey. All right. Let's see. Oh, and that tablet loaded up last night in the middle of the night and said, okay, now it works. So you probably can sign in through that particular app you wanted me to connect up. Because I woke up like around 1:32, looked at the European market, and there it was, sitting there ready to go. All right, now from there, where are we going from there? Let's see what the Mexican peso looks like. Oh, we did. You know what we did? We looked at the South African rand. Let's just see it again. It's kind of interesting. Look at that. It's really just marching up, marching. And then let's look at the peso. Right there. Let's put. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the South African rand back up too, just so you see both on the screen there, so you can see that upwardly strength with that buy that's been going on, and you can see it right there. See all that strength right there, same way. See that same action right there. Matter of fact, it's still not in the daily sell here. They're not letting it go, whereas we do have a red hinky going on, showing some weakness, and it's at the is that the top end of the range or what? I can't even tell. 76, something like that. Is that what that is? So, yeah, the South African rand is having a lot of issues until they can resolve their political problems. I know people hate when they hear about politics and numbers, but I guess when people end up with pockets full of cash and you're the president of your country and you're not supposed to have pockets of cash, $500,000 here and $500,000 there in your pocket, it does make it a challenge to explain, you know. I think he's basically said, I don't care. I'm not paying attention. That's what he said, the president. I'm not resigning. I don't care. And then let's put the Mexican peso in there. There's the peso again. You see it's trying to break down. And let's put the peso up on the J4X. Let's see, where are you? Mexican peso, right there. You can see it's been down on the daily, a couple days in the buy, just like right here on Chicago Quant. You see that action right there. And then all of a sudden, and let's take a look at the weekly too. There's the weekly. There we are. Yep, see all that? There we go. All right, now from there, we can jump over to metals or gold or stock indices. Does anybody care? And if they don't care, we'll go over to the metals complex. Take a look at silver and see what silver is doing. There's gold, and let's put the silver up on there. There you go. And let's put silver on. Let's move that over to there, and let's put silver up right here. Right there. You see, it's trying to get into a buy today. It is down for the day, though, but our algorithm is turning up, and you can see the weekly. It has been tight, flatline for 3 whole weeks. And you see it's breaking down into the zero again. And you can see this whole thing right here is a plateau type of action to begin with. And then let's throw the weekly up on the screen right there. You can see we are generating a red there too, just like we are generating the red right there. Getting the same thing going on both of them, showing you the weakness that's coming. Now let's drive. Today is Monday, and we're going to take a look at copper. Of course, we look at that every day. And then we're going to look at the, what do you call that? The platinum. Take a look at platinum. So we're going to throw the daily in there. We're going to put copper in here. And there's copper. You see copper's, is that right? Something's wrong there. That doesn't make any sense. Here, let me just, let's do this. Let's put out the chart we sent out. Let's see if we can do this. Because I thought the chart was a plus. And we'll just move it over. I don't know, something happened over the last half hour, some bad data. We have to re-clean that up and straighten it out. And let's put the copper in there and see where that's at. There we go. There we go. That's what you're seeing right there. We've been in a buy. No, look at that. I see. Okay, we went into a sell for a couple of days, I guess. That's what it is. We'll have to check that out. And we're trying to get into a daily buy again now. Something like that. I think this might be wrong. I think I want to check that out. I think that's just bad. Let me see if we can do a refresh. Maybe that'll straighten it out. So what am I looking at here? I'm going like that. And then where do we go to? Was it there it is right there. And let's put copper up there. There is February. And what are we looking at? We're looking at March. So let's put the March contract up there. Yeah, see that's wrong right here. See this right there? We'll get rid of that. Let's move that out of the way. Like a hurricane. Let's see if we can refresh this, straighten this out. Like a hurricane. No, we want to go view. Let's go to view. Here we go. Right there. Let's do it like. Yeah, so it needs to be fixed. This is all wrong. That's all wrong there. That is wrong. The high is right, but the low and the close and what else is there? The low, close, and the open are all wrong. So we have to fix that too. We'll take care of that after the webinar, but it's still in a buy. Our work shows us that this is in a buy. We can get rid of that. It's definitely not in a sell, that's for sure. All right, and then let's take a look at platinum. And there is platinum right there. The April contract. It's still holding up in a weekly buy. You can see the fast algorithm is moving down, so that's a little of a drag. The daily on Friday? What is that? That's Friday. So we went into the buy on Friday as a daily again. So we're back into the daily buy right there. And we need to fix that too at the same time. Let's change that to green like so. And then let's see if we can we'll try to change this. And that'll straighten it out a little bit more. So what is that? That is Friday right there, is it? Let's see. Let's go back like this. And that should straighten it out. There we are. There you go. So we went back into the buy on Friday. And we're just unchanged today. And you can see the weekly, holding up very well. So this is 3, 4, 5, going into a 6th week in a weekly buy. And overall, you can see this thing has been in a weekly buy for, before that, it was, the fast moving algorithm was in a buy for a bunch of weeks. Then went into a sell, then went back into a buy again here. And has not let go since, So in this case here, you can see the fast fell down into here, went into a sell for a week, and then 2 weeks later, the slow moved into the buy, out of the sell to the buy. But overall, it's been in a buy since only 1 week in a sell since the mid of October. So that's the action we're seeing on that at the moment. So you can see that strength. And you can see the daily has joined back into the buy, hanging around the 1050 area. So that's the metals complex. Let's go take a look at the stock, the energy stocks, and we'll go over to. We saw this. This is the front month March, doing fine, and it's trading at 33. So we go look at the back month. At the same time, we're going to throw. What are we doing? We're throwing the Brent C contract. So Brent is probably trading at like 88 or something like that. Let's find it. There's Brent, 88.49 at 54. Just, matching up to the spot in the United States of West Texas. And obviously there's like a 44-cent premium in the May contract right there. 33 versus 77 is 43, so there's a 43-cent premium in the back month. The reverse contango. Then from there we take a look at natural gas right there, NG. It looks like it's a little bit higher than Friday, so you can see that. Let me just double check a few things here. It's I'm going to see what natural gas looks like on the contract there. And what is that? That's March. So we see March doing the same thing. It's a little bit higher than Friday's close right there. And it's been in that weekly sell for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. It's been in a sell. Let's put it up on J4X. Right. Nat gas is right there. U.S. natural gas is right there. You can see that pressure on it, trading at a little bounce going on, just like here. But our algorithm is staying down, whereas here we got the green, and we do have a green line trying to break through. There's some buying going on in here. We'll see how long that lasts. I don't think it's going to last the whole day if it stays in this price area. And then at the same time, we look at the Spanish company, which is just trading around the 26 area, like 25.99 to like 26.20 in that area. Let's take a look at that. What is that? 33? No, that's not right. 33. Am I looking? Oh, that's a dollar index. Let's put. Where is it at? Natural gas. Where is it at? There's the dollar index. There is the euro. Gas in the United States right there at 3.5. And then right underneath it should be the Spanish energy company. Right there. There we go. Trading at 26.12. That's what I figured. Anywhere between 25.90 something to 26.20. And there it is, 10 bid at 12. So it's literally almost smack in the middle of it all. Just a wild guess at this point. And so that's the natural gas. We talked about it on Friday. Over 50% of the inventory in Europe is still there. So we're really at the point now where you see there's just it won't go away. In other words, there's inventory. They don't have to worry. Things are better. Now we expect to see, I don't know. You're talking about it trading at $26 possibly a cubic foot, and in the United States it's $3.50. It's an incredible arbitrage of eightfold. 8 times 6. No, I'm sorry. 8 times 3 is 24, and then 50 cents 4 more times. Is $4 more is like 28. So it's like 7.7 times more in cost. 7.7 times, almost 8 times more. It's a big number. All right, I'm doing the whisper like a bomb, not bomb, like Biden does. He whispers. All right, from there we drift over to so we did energies, we did metals. Let's take a look at the stock indices. So here is the S&P 500, which is the grand poobah of all the currency and stock indices / influenced by everything. Almost 50% of the companies in the S&P 500 are American incorporated companies, and another 50% are foreign companies from Norway all the way down to literally Brazil. There's probably a Brazilian company that's in the stock indices somewhere. There's German companies and English companies and French companies and Spanish companies and so forth and so on. All right, and so then we go and look at it on Chicago Quant. And there it is right there. There's the S&P 500. You see we are flirting with a daily buy with no problem. A third week now, starting the week off in a weekly buy. And we see that action going on there. And you can see here, we got a big green hinky going on there too. And you can see the little green line trying to bust through there. And it's probably like on the weekly situation. It's probably, let's see, a couple weeks into it too. Like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 4 or something like that. Let's see. There's the weekly. And we'll count the bars. Okay, so 3 bars. Okay, so that's what we see there. 3 bars there. And you see that strength. And you can see the green line above the dashed line. So it was all good there. And then let's just show you how it. We're trading at almost. What's the high today? The high is it 400? We're back to 400 now. Is it back 400? Last week the high was like 420 something. And here we are, only 28 points away, and I'm trying to find the high as we speak. The high is, where's the high at? There's a high in here somewhere. You know, let's go over to this. We're just going to go over to the intraday, and we'll take a quick look at the intraday because the line itself is much more clearer. So there it is right there. There's the intraday, and the high, there it is. Right now it's trading at 3998, now 399825. And the high was 400. There it is right there. See it right there? 400. And that's, so no more than, last week it was trading in the 420s. So we're already back. I mean, it's coming back. And, I know I talked about, that I just don't see the recession that everybody else talks about. I don't see the selling that everybody talks about. What's missing is the buying. That's what I see. I don't see a lot of buying. It's going up because there's no sellers. But I don't really see a lot of buying going on. So that's why we're seeing all this strength here. And then on an intraday basis, we go back to last week. Does it show us that? No, it doesn't show us that. I think we could show you that. Let's go like this. We're going to close this. Close. There we are. And then let's open up the intraday system that we follow. Let's see, right there. I think the president got rid of the chief of staff last week. Okay, now here is last week and this week. Let's see if we can do this. What we're going to do is we're going to go like this too. We're going to give the little spinny thing and give it fresh. See, there we are. We're right back up into this area. And I think I'm going to take this and move that up. So you can see here, it was in the 420s. 428, 429. And now we're playing around for 3,996 with a high of 400. So we've gotten back like 80% of all this weakness that was sold off. Fell down to 3,900, and here we are now back to 4,000 almost. And so you can see that the buying is going on in the stock indice. Matter of fact, we can move our cute little lines. The buy, where was the buy? Buy was right there last night. Is that last night or was that Friday? That was Friday. And then it fell into a sell at the close of Friday. And then we moved into a buy right there at the beginning of last night. Yeah. So last night in the Asian hours, we went into a buy, and then we slipped into the sell. Slip and slide. It sounds like we're talking about freaky girl, Dojo Cat. And then you can see we went right back into the buy again right there. And so we've been in the buy from this one, and you can see it's been moving up. It was trading in the, where did it close on that bar? 3980, and we've gone up 20 points. So you can see that strength in the S&P 500, and they're not really letting go there. Well, if anybody wants to see anything, shout it out, and if not, we will, we'll call it a day. And you can see there, it's showing, a little weakness going on right there. We went into a sell right there. Let's take a little bit more. Let's move some of the lines in there. Where are they? There's the lines right there. So we'll tighten that up. This is just we look at three different frequencies, I guess you could call it. So there's the sell. It's in the sell right now. It went into the buy right there. And then there's the sell before that, right there was the sell, right there. And then let's put the buy in. Where's the buy at? No. So that sell was, there's the buy, right there. And the sell has been since what? there. I think that's how it is. Let's widen that out for us all to see. There we are. So you can see there. Where's Mr. Mouse? There's Mr. Mouse right there. So you see here, there's your buy. Barely, it, went up maybe 5 points or something like that, which is pretty cool. 5 handles, Closed at 92. Was that 93? 93 and a quarter. 93 and a quarter with a high of 95. Not even 2.5 points. There's 94.75. Barely 2 handles, and then it slid into the sell right there at 3,990. And stayed in the sell all the way to right there. So we take that buy, and that's where it went into the buy. And then it slid into the sell right there. So it went into the buy here, and then it was a real winner chicken dinner. And that sell was a wonderful sell. Look at that. I mean, it went into the sell right here and stayed into the sell all the way to there, down to from a close of, what is that? That's, I think that's what it is right there. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. So it went into the sell here at, is that the sell? No, that's the sell right there. At 39,870, 987.50. 87.50. So it fell from 87.50 all the way down to 8. So it's only 7-8 handles. It was very quiet, really. And then it jumped back into the buy, and then it was a real rampage. Went into a sell for a couple bars, gave up a little money, and then it made it all back. And then in spades, as we would say, it made beaucoup dollars. That's Vietnamese. Beaucoup, lot, big, great, many. And then you can see we slid into the sell here at 94-ish. And we're trading at 94-ish now. It's not really going anywhere. The algorithm has drifted and is starting to try to bend up. You can see the time manifold getting tight. The whole bit. There's a lot of interesting action going on there. So, if we don't have anybody asking any questions, I guess we'll call it a day. That's the S&P 500. And we're going to label this, too, just because of the strength of what's going on with the S&P, almost making back everything that it lost last week, which was a big move to begin with. I mean, I think the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down like 1,300 or 1,400 points at one point. Closed only down like I don't know, something small, like 400 points for the week. Made a lot of it back on Friday. And now you can see it's launching itself even more. And so it's going after the highs. So we're not very bearish about the stock market. Not very bullish about it, but we're definitely not bearish. We just think that sometimes the market doesn't have anywhere to go. It just kind of hangs out. And that's what's going on right now. So anyway, traders, this is Doc from North America saying arrivederci. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders.